Throughout this course, we'll take time to look at applications of math and calculus specifically in the business world. Those applied questions we'll frequently complete using a tool called Symbolab, which is available at www.symbolab.com. Homework questions will clearly indicate when Symbolab is an appropriate tool to use to generate results. But before we get into looking at using that tool and some of those applications, we want to start with a brief review of some of our basic business models. The first one that we can talk about is a price demand function. Which relates price P and demand X. Take note that in this case that is a lowercase p for price. That'll be important in just a moment here. Oftentimes we'll be dealing with linear price demand equations. So these will be something of the form y equals mx plus b. But we'll translate that into slightly different notation depending on which value is considered to be the independent variable. So in place of y, we'll use a value p to generate a function p of x is equal to mx plus b. In that case, demand is the independent variable for that equation. Or we could generate a function x of p is equal to m times p plus b. That looks a little stranger because we're used to seeing x on the right-hand side of that equation, but all we've done is switch the places of x and p to make p the independent variable in that equation. We also have revenue functions. Revenue is generated by selling x units at a price point of lowercase p dollars. So revenue, R, can be calculated as x times p. But as we have expressed above, we'll have, for instance, price, p of x, as a function of x. So we'll be taking x times that price demand function, which gives us a revenue function, r of x, equal to x times lowercase p of x. And as we get into examples, we'll see how we can generate these more specifically. And then we also have a profit function, where profit is calculated by finding revenue minus cost, meaning that our function capital P of x, which is why we stressed that before, lowercase p indicates price, capital P indicates profit. We need to think about that case sensitivity, is equal to r of x, our revenue function, minus c of x, which would be a cost function. And again, we'll see in the examples throughout this section different ways we can go about constructing those functions and then use them to answer practical questions about the business world.